What's up, everybody? It's Yonkure with a Final Fantasy 15 news update. The following information comes from the latest episode of Final Fantasy 15's active time report livestream, in which a ton of new information was revealed about the highly anticipated title. In this particular video, I want to focus on everything that was revealed about magic. So here is how magic works in Final Fantasy 15. The general idea was that the developers wanted to focus on quality over quantity. Rather than having a huge selection of spells, they wanted to implement a select few that would have much more significance and purpose than a typical Final Fantasy spell. In Final Fantasy 15, spells won't just be about dealing damage, but also about the effects that they have on the environment and allowing players to get creative. As an example, the game's creator, Hajime Tabata, talked extensively about the fire spell. When it's cast, it won't just deal some damage and be over. Not only will the fire spell have a wide area of effects right out of the gate, but also if there is something flammable nearby like grass, then the environment may catch on fire, and anyone who touches the flames will receive damage. So the game determines what's flammable and what isn't, and the flames from the fire spell will react accordingly. Tabata even mentioned a time when the fire got a bit out of control and a nearby shack caught on fire as well. You can actually see a glimpse of what he's talking about in the progress report footage found in the active time report livestream. The AI has also been programmed to back away from the nearby flames so that players don't have to micromanage their party members, and Noctis himself will shrink back if players get too close. Also cool is that anything that does end up burning, whether it be surfaces, edifices, people, or monsters, will be scorched black. They do eventually revert back to their original state after some time, a result of what Tabata called in the livestream a strange force. There were also examples given about some of the other spells found in the game, like Blizzard and Thunder. With something like Blizzard, if there is water nearby, then casting the spell will result in the water freezing for a bit, and the water nearby will overall amplify damage along with effects like slowing down enemy mobility. It's even possible for enemies to freeze to death from Blizzard. And then there's Thunder, an electricity-based spell. Like in our real world, if the spell is used nearby or on things that are highly conductive, whether it be water or metal, the effect will be amplified, and the further the spell's area of effect will be. Spells not only interact with the environment, but their damage, area of effect, status effects, and overall potency will also vary depending on the weather. So if it's raining, casting the fire spell will result in the flames doing less damage and extinguishing much more quickly, thereby diminishing its intended effect, while spells like Blizzard and Thunder can benefit from it. That's just one of many examples. With these environmental and weather interactions, the overall concept for Final Fantasy 15 spells is to make them react familiarly like elements in our natural world in order to encourage players to use these spells creatively. One example of this is shown in the latest Stealth and Combat trailer, in which we see Noctis breaking a Magitech armor's hydraulic damper and then using the fire spell on the leaked oil, resulting in an explosion that deals a ton of damage. The game will feature many scenarios like these in which proper and creative implementations of spells can make battles much easier. And this brings us back to the developer's goal of diminishing the range of spells while giving each one more meaning and purpose. It was then pointed out that this can be a double-edged sword for players, however. Because spells are more powerful right out of the gate, and because of their various possible interactions and effects, it's possible for players to harm themselves with spells as well as their party members. The AI will do as much as possible to take care of itself, but accidents may happen, and if players are too carefree with a handful of powerful and interactive spells featured in the game, things could go out of control to their own detriment. Very cool stuff indeed. It seems as though magic in Final Fantasy 15 won't just be a statistical element like in past games, but also a dynamic element that interacts with the world. Good stuff. Now, many of you may be wondering how spells are obtained in Final Fantasy 15, and fortunately the topic was touched upon in the Active Time Report livestream. So the way it works is that scattered throughout the world are what Tabata called elemental energies that players can gather, which can then be used to create magic. The magic that is formed is then stored as an important part of your inventory, from which players can choose to equip the spell item in place of a weapon to use in battle at their own discretion. So yes, some spells in Final Fantasy XV will have qualities akin to items, but these are items that can't be bought, only created. It's almost like an alchemy system that you'd find in a Western RPG, except instead of making potions, you create consumable spells. And if you check out this footage here, you can see that Noctis is almost throwing his spell as if it were a physical object or item, in this case the fire spell, which is akin to an incendiary grenade. Now, important to note is that Final Fantasy XV features two types of spells. The ones we've been talking about, which involve gathering elemental energies that convert into magic that are stored as items, are called elemental spells. Spells in this category include fire, blizzard, and thunder. The second category of magic, Tabata explained, is called ring spells. These are spells that can only be used by the bearer of the royal ring of the Kingdom of Lucis, passed down the royal line. Unlike elemental magic, which are available from early in the game, ring magic becomes usable only after a certain point in the story. Nothing else was revealed about ring spells, but it seems to me that the royal ring worn by Regus Lucis Kylum the 113th, Noctis' father and King of Lucis, will eventually be passed down to Noctis at some point in the main story, unlocking ring magic. According to Tabata, like elemental magic, ring magic was designed with quality over quantity in mind, with each spell having great meaning and purpose. I'm actually very excited about Final Fantasy XV's magic system. I like the idea of quality over quantity and that spells will have many dynamic elements to them. I'm also very curious to see what kinds of effects ring magic will have, but we'll have to wait until the developers decide to spill the beans. But for now, this is all we know about how magic will work in Final Fantasy XV, so with that, I would like to end this news update. Thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Let us know in the comments below your thoughts about the quality over quantity approach for spells, and to be further updated on Final Fantasy news, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Young out!